The first two Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah and Imam Malik rahimahullah, when you study them, they had masha'Allah a good, healthy and rich life. And the later two, Imam Shafi and Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahimahullah, their lives were full of poverty and struggle for food and money. I ask you, which of the two scenario is better? Which of the two conditions is better? A rich life or a poor life? If you have any faith in Quran, فَأَمَّا الْإِنسَانُ إِذَا مَبْتَلَاهُ رَبُّهُ فَأَكْرَمَهُ وَنَعَّمَهُ فَيَقُولُ رَبِّي أَكْرَمَنِ. When the Rabb tries a man, tests a man by being generous to him and bestowing favors on him, the man says, my Lord has honored me. But he's wrong. The Rabb has tested him. That's what the ayah says. The Rabb has tested him, but the man says he is honored. On the other hand, وَأَمَّا إِذَا مَبْتَلَاهُ فَقَدَرَ عَلَيْهِ رِزْقَهُ فَيَقُولُ رَبِّي أَهَانًا. When the Rabb tries him by restricting his provisions, then the man says, my Rabb has humiliated me. Kalla, no, that's not the case. Rather, both are tests. Both are equal. Both are tests. And Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik were put in the first category of this test. And Imam Shafi and Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahimahullah were put in the second category of this test. Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik were alhamdulillah rich people, and Imam Shafi and Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal were poor. So how did Abu Hanifa get rich? Where did his wealth come from? His father was a khazzaz, a silk trader. So at the very early age, Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah grew up learning his father's business. That was silk trading. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah used to buy some clothes and then work some silk patterns on those clothes and sell them at a reasonable price and gain some reasonable profit from it. And his description as a merchant is that just by looking at a piece of cloth and not even touching it, just by looking at a piece of cloth, he could tell what quality of cloth it is and what should be its reasonable price. So he was so intelligent in the field he belonged to. Now Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, his reputation in the marketplace, even before he was any famous imam, we are not talking, in today's complete speech, I'm not talking about any fiqh. I'm only going to talk about Imam Abu Hanifa's principles regarding merchandise, regarding trading, regarding business. Okay, so Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, even before he was famous, his reputation in the marketplace was that he was very, very, very honest, and he would never lie about his products. He would never swear about his products to be the best in the market. My garment is the best garment you will find in the complete soh, in the complete market. No, he didn't used to follow these strategies. He would never take advantage of ignorant customers, which is very common nowadays. And he never made profit from selling to a poor person. Yes, if the consumer is poor, Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah would just sell the product at the cost price with zero profit at all. And he never hid any defect in his products, and we will soon learn this in detail very soon inshallah. Now this is a quality that came as a surprise to me. Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah always sold and bought at fixed price. He never bargained. He never bargained. Now calm down, there is nothing haram about bargaining. But Abu Hanifa had certain principles for himself, and he really believed that once he said this piece of cloth is worth 400 dirham, then the customer says no, 300 dirham, he would just keep the cloth and say, sorry, I can't sell this now. Same applied to when he was buying. If he thinks that this cloth is 400 dirham and the person demands 500, Abu Hanifa says, sorry, jazakallahu khairah. He rahimahullah felt it was absolutely against his dignity to just sit there and argue, no, 300, 350, 375, that wasn't his thing. He would think that this is against his own dignity, his own izzah. And then he never even praised his own products. The clothes were in his shop on display. If you liked it, you would buy. Abu Hanifa rahimahullah wouldn't comment, hey, look at this cloth, mashallah, this looks great. No. The cloth is on the display and it is what it is. You will buy it if you want to buy it, you won't buy it if you don't want to buy it. And once to his shop, he brought Hamad. Hamad is his own son. And a customer came and asked, how much is this? Abu Hanifa said 300 dirham. So the customer said, let me take a look at it. And Hamad went to the garment and he just picked it up, and looking at it, it was so beautiful. He went like, Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. He did salawat. But he is looking like, wow, this is a nice piece of cloth. And Abu Hanifa said, wa alayhi salatu was salam, and upon him be blessings and peace, but I cannot sell this garment now. Hamad just praised the garment, right? And he didn't actually praise it, he just said salawat, looking at the garment. But he means that this, wow, this garment is so beautiful. So Abu Hanifa says, I don't sell a garment to the customer after praising it. Subhanallah. Now again, it's not haram to truthfully praise your products, but look at the high principles of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. This shows his status actually. And once Abu Hanifa went to buy a garment, and a woman was the seller, and she said it is 200 dirham. And Abu Hanifa was willing to buy it, and he said that, what, only 200 dirham? No, it is worth more than that. The woman said, okay, 300 dirham. It's worth more than that. 400 dirham. It's worth more than that. The woman said, are you making fool of me? Abu Hanifa said, no, I'm honest. He said that, just wait for me. And Abu Hanifa went and brought someone he knew and asked him, tell me, what is this garment worth? And the man said, 500 dirham. Abu Hanifa rahimahullah said, will you buy it for 500? Why not? So done, he will buy it for 500 from you. Subhanallah, subhanallah, the same garment Abu Hanifa could have got only for 200 dirham. But this was his honesty. Now later on, when he became a scholar, so far this all happened even before he was a scholar. But later on, when he became a scholar, he had a partnership with a man, and the man's name was Hafs. So one day in the morning, Abu Hanifa said to Hafs that, see, I have this garment and it has a defect. So don't sell this garment without pointing out this defect to the customer. Okay? And in the evening, when Abu Hanifa came, he didn't find the garment in the market, in the shop, and he asked about it. Abu Hafs said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. I sold it and I forgot about what you said. I sold that garment and I forgot to point out the defect it had to the customer. And Abu Hanifa said, for how much did you sell it? I'm not sure what the price was, I've forgotten. Maybe it was 500 dirham. Abu Hanifa asked, do you remember the customer? He said, no, I don't. And this made Abu Hanifa so sad that, number one, he broke his partnership with Hafs. I'm sorry, I can't trust you with this shop anymore. And secondly, he gave the profit of the entire day as sadaqah. Subhanallah. He was so afraid of having a penny of haram earning in his possession that he just gave the entire day's profit in sadaqah. And when it comes to fearing haram money, then once Abu Hanifa was sitting in the shade of a tree, and the tree belonged to a person, and Abu Hanifa inquired, whose tree is this? And he came to know that the tree belongs to a person to whom Abu Hanifa rahimahullah has lent some money. You understand this? Abu Hanifa was sitting under the shade of a tree, and the tree belonged to someone whom Abu Hanifa has lent some money. Now Abu Hanifa got up and sat in the heat of the open sun. People asked why, what happened? Abu Hanifa said, I have lent money to the owner of this tree. Now, if I benefit from this tree and get my money back from the person, then I'm afraid that the benefit I get from this tree will be counted in the court of Allah as riba, interest. Now, I wonder, you must be confused at this point, that how is this riba? Abu Hanifa is saying, I lent him the money and I get the money back as well as the benefit from his tree, the shade of his tree. So this shade of his tree might be riba, right? It can be counted as riba, although we as common folks cannot think of this at all, right? Subhanallah, this was where the mind of Abu Hanifa was, and this was how fearful he was of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there is a hadith that Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu was asked, how much money do you need for a healthy life? And Ali radiallahu anhu said, 400 dirham. So at the end of every month, Imam Abu Hanifa would count his entire month's benefits, the profit he made the entire month, and he would keep 400 dirham for himself and give all the rest in sadaqah. He was a man who loved giving sadaqah, and every day while closing his shop, he would give 10 dirham to his son and say, go and find someone needy and give this as sadaqah. And this is something we should also practice. This is actually teaching sadaqah to his son at very young age. And on every Friday, Abu Hanifa rahimahullah would give 20 dinar. Now dinar is gold coins. So 20 gold coins as sadaqah on the behalf of his parents who have passed away. So this was a man who really loved to give sadaqah. And not just sadaqah, he also was a frequent lender. And he lent a man 10,000 dirham. And he then never saw this man again for many months. Okay? So the man took 10,000 from him and disappeared. Now one day, Abu Hanifa saw that the man was on the same road as Abu Hanifa was, and as soon as the man saw Abu Hanifa, he hid himself behind another man. So he was trying to hide. And Abu Hanifa saw this, so he went to him and said, what happened? Why are you hiding from me? The man said, I'm sorry and I don't have money to give back to you yet, and all the excuses he gave. And Abu Hanifa rahimahullah said, that's the reason you're hiding from me? Money? And Abu Hanifa hugged the man. And Abu Hanifa said, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Because of me, you felt like you have to hide for so many months. Please forgive me. Subhanallah. Who does that? Who does that? Subhanallah, what was the mistake of Abu Hanifa here? But if you remember the hadith that someone who is easy towards a person who owes him money, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will inshallah put him under the shade of his arsh. So Abu Hanifa was a man, really, he deserves that.